Hi everybody, thank you for watching. In this Module 4 video, we're going to show you how to use Google Slides to create interactive, clickable tutorials that your students can explore on their own. We're also going to show you some different ways that these tutorials can be used, including using them as a content delivery method and also for student self-assessment. So of course, the first step to doing this is to go to your Google account and open up a brand new Google Slides presentation. Now I've already got that done and set up here, ready to go. Now the main thing to remember when you're creating one of these tutorials is to always try and put yourself in the mindset of someone who will be clicking through your tutorial perhaps for the first time ever. So you want to make sure to always include very clear directions and easy ways to get back to some sort of a home page if they do get confused. Now this first slide I've created, I'll be using as my home page, and you can see down here I've got a very clear direction on what to do first, which is click anywhere on the slide to begin, and I recommend doing something similar for your own. When somebody views this slide and reads this, click anywhere, they'll simply click anywhere within the frame of the slide, and just like any other presentation, it's going to advance them to the second slide. Now it's at the second slide where I start introducing my tutorial participants to all the important symbols they have to know about, such as this big red arrow that says next, which they're supposed to click to advance to the next slide. Certain slides I don't want them to click the red arrow. They can click anywhere within the entire screen, and they know to do that when they see this arrow. Or the little home symbol, which I'm going to put in the bottom left hand corner of every slide, so if anyone ever gets confused they can click that at any point and return back to the start. Now once all of your direction slides have been set up at the start, it's time to start thinking about creating the tutorial itself, and there's a couple different ways you can do this. We'll start with the simplest way, which is creating kind of like a quiz. Not that counts or gets scored, but just that the students can take for their own knowledge to sort of get a sense of how well they're understanding the content at hand. So what I have here is a simple question from earlier in one of the earlier modules about blended learning. It's a simple question: is this blended learning? You read the scenario and you click on yes or no based on what you think. Now the way this works is when somebody clicks on the yes or the no, it directs them to specifically created slides elsewhere in your presentation. I have those pre-made way down here, slide 9 if they click yes, slide 10 if they click no. So you're going to want to make the slides they're going to navigate to ahead of time before you do this next step. So once you've got these slides created, it's time to go back to the start and link the buttons to them in the proper way. So let's start with the yes button. I know when somebody clicks yes, I want it to link to slide 9. So the way you do that is click and highlight the whole box, right click on the box and go to link. That's going to pull up a box here where you can enter in a URL for a website, but we're not going to do that in this case. Instead, we're going to click slides in this presentation, and it's going to pull up a little drop down menu where you can do next slide, previous slide. I would stay away from those. It gets kind of confusing as you edit. But if you go down, you can select other specific slides in the presentation, and there's slide 9, the one I wanted to navigate to. So you click it and hit apply. Now what happens is anytime somebody clicks yes, it automatically will jump to slide 9, which gives them further direction and a response based on that choice. You can go ahead and do the same thing for no and link it to, in this case, slide 10. Click apply. Here's some other tips and things that I've picked up as I've created these. You'll also notice on both my yes and no slides I have a big green arrow that says click here for next question. You always want to remember to give your participants very clear instructions on what to do next, and that's a good way to do that. This green arrow, for example, is going to be linked to whatever slide has the next question I want them to attempt to answer. Another good idea is to put in some safeguards against the students who are not really paying attention to whether they're supposed to click yes or no, and they're just going to be clicking in random spots all over the slide. You don't want them to do that. So I have these 3, I call them bumper slides, where if someone isn't paying attention, they're just clicking randomly, then they'll come up to this slide, and I put 3 in case they click multiple times. It just simply says, hey, you're doing too much clicking, and gives them an option to click here. This click here piece of text is linked back to slide 5, the original slide with the question, so it kind of redirects someone who's not really following the directions. Now let me take a quick minute and show you what this looks like when it's all done and it's in the presentation. So this is what somebody's going to see when they're going through your tutorial. they click yes, and they navigate to the yes slide. Let's just go back and test if they click no. They go to the no slide, they can click here and move on to the next question, which is set up right there. Now, once you get the hang of linking images to different slides within a presentation, you can get a little more creative and do something like this. Here I have a picture of dinosaurs. Let's say instead of answering questions yes or no, you wanted to give your students the option to view an image and click on different areas within that image. If you want to learn what this dinosaur is, you click on him. If you want to learn what this dinosaur is, you click on him, and so forth until you've kind of explored this whole picture yourself. Now this is trickier because this is all just one image. You can't link different parts of the image to different slides, but what you can do is go to Insert, and then on the Insert drop-down menu, go to Line and click Polyline. What this lets you do is click a series of lines, and you can make it in any shape you want. It doesn't have to be perfect, but you want to go around the rough outline of the dinosaur so that anytime you click inside of these lines, you're basically generating your own unique shape to overlap this dinosaur. Now you don't want to see this kind of ugly white filled in thing here, so you can change all those settings as well. So you do that by clicking on the little paint bucket icon, checking transparent, the little line color option, checking transparent, and now you have a shape on top of the dinosaur that's invisible but still clickable. So you can link this shape to a different slide, so when somebody clicks this dinosaur, it takes them to the slide to learn about that dinosaur. Then they can navigate back to this original picture where you'll have created other transparent shapes on top of the other dinosaurs, and you give the student the freedom to click on different things as they want to learn about them. Now once you're finished, it's time to share your presentation with your students, and there's a variety of ways to do that. If you have a website, you can embed this slide directly within the frame of the website, which is really nice and convenient. You can simply email it out to them if you want. Even the on-course learning management system has a way to push Google Documents, slides, forms, anything you want directly to a class of students at a time. Just one recommendation: before you do this, make sure in the share options you select the option that says anyone at Hopo Valley Regional School District can view, not edit, because if all your students can edit it, it's really easy for all your hard work to kind of get messed up as people click around and possibly move images and shapes to spots they're not supposed to be. That concludes this video on creating clickable tutorials with Google Slides. Thank you for watching. Please enjoy this summary. Now go out and blend something.